foolishness, stupidity, unwise investments, and unwise expenditures, because we do not practice temperance or self-control. Look at somebody and tell them, you have to practice self-control. Self-control is restraint of oneself or one's actions or one's feelings. Self-control is holding back. Self-control is setting limits on how far you should go in a thing. It's setting limits and boundaries as how far you should take it, how far you should go in it. For 2 Peter 1:6, Peter says, add to your knowledge temperance or self-control, and to temperance add patience. In other words, he's saying it doesn't matter how much you know, how much knowledge you have, if you are not in control of yourself, if you're out of control, your knowledge does not mean a thing. Ask somebody beside you, are you out of control? The Message Bible says temperance or self-control is to be able to marshal and direct your energies wisely. Temperance is habitual moderation in any indulgence or any appetite or any craving you have. You cannot take it too far. Temperance, from the word temperament, or the condition or combination of mental and emotional traits of a person. From temperamental, which means moody or irritable or very excitable. From temper, ask somebody, do you have a temper? Which has to do the habit of your mind. Is plain old self-control. Here is my working definition of self-control. It's rejecting wrong desires and doing what is right. What did I say? I said it's rejecting wrong desires and doing what is right. That's all self-control is. And everybody in this room has some wrong desires every now and then with your sanctimonious looking self. Don't look up at me as if you don't have some wrong desires. But self-control means that the desires come, but I reject them, and in the place of rejecting them, I do what's right. Tell somebody, do the right thing, do the right thing, do the right thing. I reject the wrong desires, and I do the right thing. Self-control is avoiding unnecessary conflict and loss by resolving emotions and building good habits. Self-control is just saying no and staying no. Saying no and staying no. A lot of us say no, but we don't stay no. Put your hand on yourself and say, I must say no, and I must stay no. Takes me back to my holiness Pentecostal sanctified church upbringing when we based our history in Colossians 2:21, where the old saints taught what Paul told the Colossian church: touch not, taste not, handle not the unclean things, those things that are not holy, those things that may be good to you, but not good for you. Oh, they taught that thing, and I thank God for my holiness background. And I know some of y'all not used to this. That's why you're so loose now, because you came out of Baptist tradition and Methodist tradition and Catholic church, where the priest took a little liquor and your Baptist and Methodist pastor hung out with you. But I want to go back to holiness, where we dotted every I and crossed every T and said, come out from among them and be ye separated. There's a difference between clean and unclean, holy and unholy. Anybody got any holy background in you? All of y'all ain't Baptist and Methodist and Catholic, are you? Anybody love the sanctified church where they taught us how to live right? It ain't popular now. That's where I came from. When you had some sanctified mothers and some deacons that could look right through you. Oh no, they weren't known as prophet somebody and prophetess the other. But baby, when they told you, you better straighten up, you better straighten up. You were scared of some of them old folk because they just didn't talk the talk, but they walked the walk. Anybody come from holiness like me, or am I the only one? That's why they called us sanctified. It wasn't a cranktified thing. It was sanctified, which only meant you were set aside. There's certain things you didn't say, certain things you didn't do, certain places you didn't go, certain things you didn't wear. Because you were sanctified. They tried to keep the women holy, tried to keep the deacons from lusting. So you don't show your breasts to nobody but your husband. You girdle those big hips in. Your stuff, woman, belong to your man at home. Somebody say, thank God for being sanctified. Self-control or temperance suggests that you set limits and boundaries and requires that you make sure that good things do not run to excess or extreme. You can do anything at the extreme. Too much of a good thing can be detrimental to your spiritual health as well as your physical health and your emotional health. Somebody say out of control. Like oversleeping. Pushing that snooze button 10 times. Get up! And how is it you can be to work on time and get to church late? I tell you why, because they're going to fix you if you come to work too many times late. They may give you, what is that, Alfonso? Verbal warning, written warning. I don't know about all these warnings. But you ain't going to get but so many warnings about coming to work late. How much more about the things of God? Oversleeping, get up. And some of you have the nerve and the audacity and the, I want to say this word, is something that goes with gall. Unmitigated gall to come up here and sleep right in my face. I ought to wake you up right now. Punch that person beside you, tell her, wake up, pastor preaching. Just shouted all over the church, got happy with the choir, jumped up on Chris, and now you're going to sleep on me? You out of control. Open your eyes and wake up. What about taking a relationship too far? In church. Starts with a glance. And it goes from a glance, what was supposed to be an innocent telephone conversation, leading from a telephone conversation to a movie date, leaving from a movie date to a dinner date, and from the dinner date in your bed. Now, how did all that happen? How did that happen from a glance to a phone call to going to a movie, taking me out to Red Lobster, and now we in bed together? Out of control. You have no self-control when you yield to what you're tempted by that you know is wrong. All of us are tempted at some point. But when you know something is wrong and yield to it anyhow, that suggests that you have no self-control because you don't think about what's going to happen in the long run.